Let's get into some social justice stuff.
Oh, boy.
The very important story from the Daily Mail.
Oh, yeah.
Scooby-Doo's Velma is a Karen.
Oh, my.
Popular video game Multiversus. Hold on there. That's fake news. I don't know if that game's popular. Removes calling the police as Sleuth's special power because it's racist when she reports LeBron James's Space Jam character. Well, all right. So LeBron James is in the video game, and a video went viral because Velma's superpower is to call the police, and then the police car takes you in the back and then like drives you off a cliff. And so people were laughing that the cops were arresting LeBron James or whatever. So here's what they did. Because it was racist, overnight, I guess it randomly changed. I shouldn't say randomly, but they changed the cop car to the mystery machine. And I kind of felt like this was a really good example of what's happening with defund the police. When initially you have the police being called and they arrest the person, when everyone gets angry, the cops are being called, they replace it with a panel van that kidnaps you and drives you off a cliff. So as we're seeing crime skyrocketing in all of these cities after defund the police and abolish the police and all that stuff, I just thought it was kind of funny. But this is great. You know, Velma's racist. How are you guys doing?
What did LeBron do to deserve this? That's in the video game. That's what I want to know.
He was beating her.
Oh, well.
Like, so, you know, it's a fighting game. So he's over here, you know, striking a woman.
How dare he?
And then Velma calls the cops, which is the right thing you're supposed to do. And then everybody got mad about it. So now instead of calling the cops, she calls her goon squad to bring their van and throw you in the back of it and drive you off a cliff. That's the game.
So do they throw LeBron in the van?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like the characters in the game, I don't know if they show the characters, but like Tom and Jerry are in it. And there's like, you know, Batman and Superman. It actually, I really want to give props to it because it is really funny. Because like, it's a bunch of Warner Brothers characters, and then in the promo for it's like Bugs Bunny but Shaggy, he has like a sandwich, and they actually made Shaggy do karate and fly and like power up like Goku. It's actually really funny. But I do think as a video game, making your move call the police is kind of dumb.
That's weird.
But the point I wanted to make here is, look, in every Scooby-Doo episode, this is what they do. Their car breaks down for some reason, and then there's a guy in a costume dressed up like a ghost or a zombie or something to scare people away to lower property values. That's like the plot of every Scooby-Doo episode. And then once they finally realize it's not really a monster, it's some dude, they call the police, and the police take care of it. But now you can't have that. Like, that's racist. It's offensive. We can't allow it. So we have to remove police because of the whims of the social justice warriors.
Is it racist just because in that instance it was against LeBron James? Like if Bugs Bunny was thrown in jail, do we have that?
Yeah, it's still racist.
Really?
That's what people are saying. They're saying that, look, this guy says this. He says, I am enjoying Velma in Multiverses, but main character whose special move is calling the police on her enemies definitely don't sit right with me as a black man.
Oh my goodness.
That's it. You can't, like, she's holding up a picture of a white dude.
Wow.
But it's still
Wait,
wrong.
So a black man wrote this article?
No, this comment right here was written by a black guy.
Twitter
Okay.
comment. Yeah.
So speaking of that comment, like for me, like my question to that guy who wrote that tweet is, have you no shame? Because the thing is like, you know, as a black man, I'm not willing to temporarily play the victim or to make myself look so weak and so fragile over a game that I'm willing to, in a sense, kind of thrust this kind of social justice agenda along. Like I'm not going to placate or to basically put this image of myself out there as this kind of victim so as to push this agenda. Like I just have too much pride, I guess, but I'm just not willing to do that. But the issue for me when it comes to stuff like this is, you know, how are so-called people of color, like how do they not have any kind of shame at all and making themselves look so weak that we need culture to modify itself to dude, accommodate us.
Scooby-Doo has been around for what, 50 years? Is that how long Scooby-Doo's been? I don't know.
It's been around for a
70s?
long time.
50.
And it always ends. Okay, not every single time, but overwhelmingly every episode that ends with the police coming in and arresting the guy, and then Fred's like, let's see who it really was. And then they pull the mask off, and it's like, it's John Murphy, or something like that.
But see, I'm wondering how much of this is the media to like find this one tweet, this one guy, and then put it out and fan it. You know what I mean? It's like, it could easily have been ignored. Like, are people really upset about this?
But the game changed it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this tweet, I think, is from like a month ago.
Wow.
You know, and he makes like a passive comment that's kind of like, haha, isn't it funny? and nobody cares. But then the people who make the game actually went in and changed it. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't have a culture that's like, you call the police when there's a problem.
Yeah.
Right, Luke?
A little conflicted on this one. I'll be honest here. I was debating how I should introduce this topic here into this conversation. I mean, there's a lot of ridiculousness to me. This is just a distraction to me. This is the ethos of a declining civilization. This is absolutely ridiculous that we're even talking about this. There's a lot of things you could say about the police. There's a lot of things you could talk about holding power accountable, but this is not it.
Why is Velma fighting anyway?
Yeah.
You know, it's like of all the characters, like Shaggy, I get. Shaggy, it's actually really funny seeing him fight because he's a coward in the cartoon. And so the gag, I guess, is that he's like freaking out, like, what's happening, man? Then someone knocks his sandwich out of his hands, and then he just goes insane with rage. That's actually funny. I like that. But Velma, like, why is she fighting anybody?
I'd like to see Velma fight LeBron James. I think that would be entertaining.
Well, you can. It's in the game. That's what the game is. Why is LeBron James even in it?
Yeah.
You know,
Space Jam.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? I wonder if LeBron realized he'd be selling his likeness to games like this when he did the movie. They're like, oh, yeah, we might make a video game based on it or something. He's like, yeah, okay, that's cool. And he's thinking it's going to be like...
Sometimes I wonder if LeBron knows what he's doing any of the time.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
that's fair.
Yeah.
Some of the things that he's said in public. So.
Yeah, he's definitely demonstrated that he's willing to play the puppet in many scenarios. So.
But for what? That's the thing. Like, for what reason are people willing to bend the knee? Is it for food?
Well,
It's for money.
I just think
I don't know, but I mean, like, what does money get you? What do you do with it? Is it because you want an infinity pool or something? I got to tell you, man, it's not that great.
Why?
Well, money is a huge idol in the so-called black community. I mean, if you look at if you look at like a lot of the music that's coming out right now, we're glorifying money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a sense, we're kind of imparting to the youth who are consuming this medium that these are the things to prioritize. These are the things to strive for and to work toward. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter whether or not the means by which you pursue it are honest or dishonest. It's just at the end of the day, this is what makes you something. This is what makes you prominent and powerful. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is.
Well, I think for like LeBron, it's just a lack of knowledge. Like, he doesn't really know a lot of history. He doesn't really know what's going on. And I think there's also a lot of guilt put on certain people that are in his caliber of wealth. You know, if you're black and you're successful and you've made it, there's a lot of guilt that you want to look back, look at the people and help the people. So the way to do that is to play the woke and play the victim, play the race card.
Well, the thing about LeBron is, like, LeBron comes from a household that was lower income. He grew up with just his mother in the home, and I would venture to say, and I say this not because I know LeBron, I say this because I know a lot of people who were in similar situations, is they have resolved that because I grew up in such a distressed situation, I'm going to see to it that my children don't, in a sense, suffer the same things that I've had to suffer growing up. And so I want to, in a sense, basically envelop them in this life of plenty and privilege. And so for LeBron, like, he's very much about, like, his status. He's very much about, like, in a sense, leveling up. And he wants to kind of create this lineage. And so he's going to seize every opportunity that comes along. And so the question becomes, to what extent do you apply principles to what it is you're doing? And so I don't want to add to this, you know what I mean? And I mean, it's selling your likeness to a video game. Who would have known that it would have come to this? You know what I mean? So I don't want to speculate, but at the same time, LeBron had nothing to do with this. It's just a matter of people like woke yet again coming to yet another like extreme kind of degree, so to speak.
I think this is a part of there is an element of woke. I guess the woke. They're chasing after nothing. It's like we talk about these algorithms on YouTube where they started making the Incredible Hulk fight Hitler, but Hitler had a woman's body and was doing Tai Chi while it's saying a nursery rhyme. And the reason those videos emerged was because the algorithm was just trying to figure out what got play and what got clicks. And I feel like that's what leftist ideology is. That's why it's random and makes no sense. It's why they're like, we oppose fascism and support the FBI raiding our political opponents. Like, they're just saying whatever algorithmically plays. There's no leader, there's no rhyme or reason. And this is one of those things. There's a cop, because it's what Scooby-Doo does. And so they're like, oh, I can be mad about that. That fits in the mold of the algorithm. So you have this decentralized network of lunatics who are just filling the holes of whatever it is could possibly make you angry and fit their ideology.
Yeah.
Well, there's two possibilities here. One, someone is extremely privileged and has a huge victim mentality that is being promoted by big tech social media, or someone's trolling. I think there's a big possibility someone's like, I'm just going to troll this company. And for the company, this mega corporation that created this video game to cave, that really is the big L here. That really is something that is worth talking about, because we could just do absurd stuff on the internet and they'll respond and they'll edit and they'll react to us. I think that element is also important to understand here. And the more that corporations cave, the more they're opening themselves up to trolls. And I think there might be a possibility that this is a troll.
Fantastic point.
That's just where our
but they
culture
cave
is
to
right
it.
now.
Exactly. That's the big L there. That's the big eye-opening situation that is worth talking about.
But to Justin's point about, like, you know, and to your point too, Luke, about how much of this is either trolling or just the media kind of assisting on a certain narrative, it does have ramifications in the real society. You know what I'm saying? And my concern is that it's kind of instilling in the youth of black people and other so-called people of color this kind of paranoia and this kind of entitlement that society owes me something. It needs to modify itself to accommodate me. It needs to walk on eggshells around me because I'm so fragile and I'm so insecure in myself that if, you know, the image of a man, regardless of what his color is, beating up a woman on a video game and that woman calling the police on that man, which in any other scenario is the proper thing to do, is considered racist. It's just so backwards and irritating in my opinion.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.